Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Jack Daniel's and Evan Williams Black Label. Now these are both, in my mind, pretty equivalent, but I wanted to know if Evan Williams is in fact a good replacement for Jack Daniel's. So I'm going to kind of do a head-to-head here and see what we come up with. Now this is the Jack Daniel's Old No. 7. This came in at about $24, I think, for a 750, and we're going to give that a nosing and a tasting. Now this is the Evan Williams Black Label. This is about $12. This is considerably less. Now the reason that I even have this question is that when I was in my early 20s and I was looking to buy some Jack Daniel's so I could have Jack and Cokes just while doing whatever I was doing, I was low on money, early 20s, and I started buying Evan Williams instead because it was about half the price. And I remember getting a lot of hangovers from the Evan Williams when I wouldn't necessarily get them from the Jack Daniel's. So that's what spurred this question. Let's go ahead and give them both a nosing. All right, so the Jack Daniel's does not have typical bourbon notes. It is a Tennessee whiskey, but for those of you that don't know, bourbon and Tennessee whiskey is a bourbon. So anyway, it has fruity cherry notes, a little bit of oak, and some caramel. The nose is not terribly complex, and it shouldn't be, not for the price. It's not trying to be. Let's go ahead and nose the Evan Williams. A very similar nose, although a little bit more sour. I'd say that instead of just kind of being fruity, I would specifically say that this smells like cherries, and that you also got some of the caramel going on. Let's go ahead and give them both a taste. Cheers. It's Jack Daniel's. For those of you, if any of you don't know what Jack Daniel's tastes like, then I don't know what to tell you. But it's got a very harsh flavor, but is also totally reasonable for anybody getting into it. It's why people like Jack Daniel's. It's not crazy, but when you're used to drinking higher end scotches and bourbons, I would consider this a harsh flavor. All right, as far as taste goes, there's a little bit of the tannins that you get from oak in there. That's what's drying out your tongue a little bit. And it's generally just a little bit like an acetone taste. All right, let's try the Evan Williams. Cheers. This has a better taste. It is not as harsh. It once again brings forward a little bit of the cherry, and surprisingly so, I'm gonna give the taste and the nose over to Evan Williams. Now here's the thing. Nobody drinks either one of these plain. So here's the real question. What makes a better whiskey and Coke? So let's go ahead and give this a shot. Now, I don't know about you. I tend to make my drinks with Coke, yes, I dropped the cap, pretty strong. So I go about maybe like a third. There's some ice in there, so I call it about a third Jack. That is not the right cap. And then, so I'll try to do about the equivalent here. I'm a man of science, try to do this properly. All right, and we will pour our Coke. All right. So that's about as close as we can get. And let's see. I'm gonna kind of swirl these around a little bit, try to make sure that they're well mixed. Move these to the side. This is the Jack. Let's see. All right, classic Jack and Coke flavor. I have always been a fan. I've reviewed like well over 100 whiskeys. I will always have a place in my heart for a Jack and Coke. All right, let's go ahead with the Evan Williams. Not as strong. This tastes more like you're drinking a mixed drink. This tastes like you're drinking cherry cola, which is interesting. Now, if that's what you want, that actually makes some sense. Now, here's the kicker. Of the two of these, I think this is a better intro to cola and whiskey. I think this is a better tasting cola and whiskey. But if you're looking to get somebody new into it, this might be a better way to go, especially for the price. However, I will warn you, I have rarely had a hangover as bad as I've gotten from Evan Williams and Coke, and never had it nearly as bad from a Jack and Coke. I used to have a rule for myself, the way I pour these things, which was also in a cup about this much bigger, that I would never have more than 3 of those in a night. And when I did, I would usually pay the price. And I remember the hangovers being significantly worse from the Evan Williams than they were from the Jack Daniels. So, I guess overall thoughts are that if you're drinking it neat, Evan Williams, oddly enough, is a better drink. If you're drinking it to start off with in a Coke, this is also a better intro. But if you are an experienced drinker of whiskey and Coke, go for the Jack and Coke. All right, thank you for joining me here on the Whiskey Dictionary. If you are interested in whiskey reviews or anything about whiskey, I do live streams as well, which are really, really fun, then check out the channel. If you like what you see, then subscribe. I'll see you next time here on the Whiskey Dictionary. Cheers.